Welcome back. This is day 2 of the service. We're going to go ahead and raise the car here, drain the coolant, and get that ready so we can start taking the belts apart. But before we do that, like I said, we disconnected the battery, and then I took the cap off the coolant tank here so we get good flow when we open the drain ports up front. Like I said before, remember, Fur Parts, supplying all the parts for this. So if you need any Ferrari parts, call them. Ferrari, Maserati, Lamborghini. So we're going to go ahead and continue on and raise this up so we can get access to the radiators up front so we can drain them. All right, so we've got this panel removed here. We have access to the radiator. There's one on the left here. There is a drain port right here. It looks like it's a little tabs broke off, but it's still intact otherwise. So this has to be removed. And then the one on the right also, as you can see, let me get the light over here. All right, so there's the other one on the right. Remove this, and then once we start that, get that drained, we'll go in the back and start breaking the lines apart. So we're going to start there. We've got the fluid draining now, as you can see. Got one there. Got some draining here on the front right. Let it sit there and do its thing for a few minutes. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and start breaking the lines in the back. All right. So once that's complete, don't forget to reinstall your plugs here. Check your O-rings, make sure they're in good shape before you put them in, or you'll have a leak. So yeah, don't forget to put the one on the right here and the one on the left. Okay. So like I said, check your O-rings, make sure they're in good shape. Reinstall those, and then we're moving on to the back here. So we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 lines here and start draining it from here. We should still get some more fluid out. And then once we get that loose, we'll take this other pipe probably out of the way that goes vertical here. There's a clamp up top we'll have to take loose, and then we'll take this line out. All right. All right, we've got the clamps broke loose. The one hose we've already got turned down and drained here. This other one is currently draining. If you're, I'm making a mess, missing the bucket. If you guys ever need a tool to break these lines loose, you can get this it's like a pick. Just got to be careful not to poke a hole in the hose, and you can get in there. Once you remove the clamp, just kind of like push this between the hose and the tube and work yourself around like this. So you're going to stick it in there, work it around. That'll break that hose loose, and then you can move the lines a lot easier. So, like I said, just be careful not to poke a hole in the tubes when you're doing that. All right. All right, so I've got this draining still. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get these belt tensioners loose for the alternator and AC compressor. All right. So what you want to do here is the center bolt up here, right here. Let me get a bit right there. I'm pointing at. That's a 12 millimeter. You want to break that loose. You don't have to take it all the way out, but just break it loose on there, and the AC compressor. See the one for the AC compressor right there? Right there, you want to break that loose too. That's 12 millimeter. And then once you break those loose, then you can adjust the belt tensioner. Otherwise, you'll snap that bolt possibly. So let's loosen those up right here. You're going to take your 12 millimeter, loosen that. I might have to get a bigger wrench. So we're going to loosen this up. It's a lot easier with when Mark's here. I'm working by myself today, so I got that loose, and then we're going to go ahead and loosen the other one on the AC compressor. All right. which is right here. All right, I'm going to put the phone down. All right, so the tensioner on the AC compressor, this is a 10. So you want to turn it counterclockwise, and that will loosen it up. Just do it enough to where you can slide the belts off. All right, that is a 10. You can see it's loose already, so that's probably good enough. And then the alternator is a 19, and I believe it's going to be the opposite of what you think it is. So I think I got to tighten that one. So let me see here. All right, so tightening this one, it will actually loosen this one. It's the opposite. So you kind of want to turn that clockwise, and you can see it's loosened up. And then the alternator belt is loose also. But I'll probably put the phone down and take the belt off. So anyway, those two belts are loose. We're going to lower the car and proceed on. All right, there you are. There's the AC compressor belt and the alternator belt. All right, they're both removed. Like I said, this is the opposite. Righty-tighty on this actually loosens it. And then this is normal. All right, so definitely break the center first. Don't forget to break the center bolt first, and then you can do this adjuster. All right, so those are off. We're going to go ahead and lower the car down, and this is going to continue to drain, and we'll take the other belts off and then start taking the timing covers off. So we're back inside the car. We're going to do the power steering pump now, the belt on that. So that's there's two bolts you need to loosen first. These are number 6s. This one here and the one in the back. Loosen those up. And then this is a number 10. And this is the opposite too. So righty-tighty will actually loosen this. This is the opposite of what it normally would. So turning that clockwise actually loosens this belt. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, we've got that removed. As you can see, the belt is right there. So that's out of the way. And then now we'll go ahead and start taking these covers off. I believe these are a 5 all around the circumference. And we'll have to take this pulley off here, this guide pulley. We'll probably loosen that up. I think that's a 6 also. Right here, we'll take that loose and then take this pipe out of the way also. Take this clamp off and break that loose, take that out of the way. And then that'll give us access to the covers so we can get those removed and then get access to the timing belts. All right. I said earlier on these clamps, I remove the clamp and then I take my tool here. And then, like I said, don't poke your hose, but get underneath there between the hose and the pipe and then shove it and then just move it around from side to side. It's going to be hard to do with one hand, but you can hear it break the seal, and then it should loosen that pipe right up so you're not struggling to getting that pipe broke loose. All right. Okay, now we're down to the covers. Like I said, these are 5 Allens. So pay particular attention to the length. These are different lengths. Usually these are longer here, I believe. But they're, like I said, pay attention to your lengths when you're taking them out. All right. And we're going to go ahead and remove those covers at this time on both sides. All right. So now we've got the timing covers off. I'm just checking things out here. These belts, I don't know what the history of this car is. The owner didn't tell me as of yet, but I don't know when these were done last, but they look like it's been a while. They look pretty dirty. This belt actually here on the passenger side is a little looser than I like. The one on the driver's side is normal. Like, when you're installing these, you're supposed to, strum them and get a frequency. Well, you wouldn't get anything on this side. So this is like either it was installed incorrectly or it's just stretched. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and then try to line up our timing marks. As you can see, they're marked right here. We'll see how those line up. We'll have to pull the coils off next and the plugs so we can turn this thing a little bit better. And then once we kind of get it lined up, I'd like to see that first to see where we're starting. And then I'll break the crank bolt later on. I'll show you how to do that. I'll have to install the tool on the flywheel underneath the car. But I guess the next thing I really want to do is I want to start pulling the coils out and the plugs. All right. I just wanted to make another note that some of the earlier cars, which this is somewhat an early car, this is a 2000, the variators had recall, which there's one on each side. So they're on the outboard side. And if it has the green on it, it states that they have been changed. So they both have green dots, as you can see here. There's supposed to be a VD stamped on there somewhere. I've yet to find that, but it varies where they stamp it. So anyway, like I said, we're going to go ahead and take the coils out and the plugs.